today's session in stress management, and the session will be taken by Dr. Indrani P. Kelkar, ma'am. She's a subject admin, TCS iON Hyderabad. I'm just giving through the brief profile of Dr. Indrani P. Kelkar, ma'am. She is graduated from IIT with MSc in mathematics and choose teaching as a career with great interest in teaching. Started teaching at SNDT Mumbai and learned innovative techniques to make mathematics interesting for students. Certified with Wipro Mission, 10x Master Trainer for Engineering Faculty. Her educational qualification includes PhD in Applied Mathematics from SPMVV Tirupati in 2006, MPhil in Mathematics from Bombay University in 1992, MSc in Mathematics from Indian Institute of Technology, Powai, Mumbai in 1986, BSc in Mathematics from Pune University, 1984. Her professional experience includes the subject admin, engineering and basic sciences, Tata Consultancy Services, TCS iON Division, Hyderabad, Assistant Vice President, Academics, ThinkCell Learning Solutions, Hyderabad, Professor in Mathematics, Dean Student Affairs, Acharya Institute, Bangalore, DGM Academics, Gate Forum, Hyderabad, Professor Maths and Head Training and Placement Department, Vignan's Institute of Information Technology, Visakhapatnam. She has presented papers in around 20 plus national and international conferences, published 30 plus papers in national and international journals. She has written 4 books in mathematics for benefits of engineering students. Some special activities involved are trainers for the National Maths Olympiad team at IISc Bangalore during the 1991-92, trainer in Vedic mathematics for speed and easy learning techniques in mathematics, trainer in soft skill, life skill for students and professionals, master trainer certified by Wipro Mission, 10x, certified yoga teacher from Rishi Samskriti Vidya Kendra, Bangalore, coordinator Rishi Vidyalaya Gurukul at Boduvalasa village, Visakhapatnam, board member of Satan Vidya Niketan, Rehla, Palamu district, Ranchi, Jharkhand. Written many articles in reputed magazines. Apart from this, she has delivered 30 plus expert talks at different institutes all over the India. So I would like to welcome our today's speaker, Dr. Indrani P. Kelkar, ma'am, for his session on stress management. Welcome you, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am. Participants are requested to be connected. Please be connected. I think Madam has disconnected. She is joining. There is some technical issue with our speaker, so please be connected with us. Ma'am is joining within a while. Once again, I welcome you, ma'am, on the fifth day of this 1 week AICT IST induction program on cybersecurity and autonomy. So our today's session will be taken by Dr. Indrani, ma'am. She will take the session on stress management. Over to you, ma'am.
So thank you so much for this opportunity, and really sorry for the delay due to some issue with my laptop, because we are usually using the office laptop, personal laptop is not our way right now for last 2.5 years almost. So it's great to have this opportunity to talk to all the faculty for this faculty development program on stress management. So it's really a great opportunity for faculty who have really gone through a big stress due to this pandemic because of using different media, which is not our style. And I have also been a faculty for many years. So I know what the issues you must be going through. So just give me a minute. I'll share my PPT and then start the session. Okay, just a minute. Just bear with me, my system is a bit slow right now because of the issue which I could resolve. Just have little patience. So you are able to see my screen, huh? You are able to see my screen? Yeah, I think it's visible.
Yes, yes. Now it's working.
Yeah, thank you. So basically, I work with TCS iON as a subject admin on engineering and science subjects. But I was a faculty for many years as a professor of mathematics. And I also had a training in yoga and naturopathy. So I can correlate things of work as well as personal life, what both gives us stress. So what I'm going to talk about is basically what is stress, factors that generate stress, the difference between eustress and distress. Many of us know only what is stress, but not the eustress, and what it impacts on our health if there is stress, and how to get rid of that stress, calling it as dimension of wellness, and what Indian traditional techniques, basically the yoga and food habits and the systems, help us in managing the stress. So to begin, what is stress? Stress is the body's reaction. Whenever we listen something, whenever we see something, whenever we, all the five senses give information to our brain. What we like, we react it in a positive way, what we call we feel happy. And what we don't like, or our brain is not emotionally happy or mentally not accepting, we react to that. So stress is not external, but it's basically the reaction from within to what information we have received from our five senses and our internal information also. So it's not something which somebody gives us, which we think about is stress is coming because of something. But the stress is coming because of our reaction to something. If we understand this difference, handling stress becomes much easier. So I'm going to tell you and how to figure out how to handle this stress. So it's nothing very difficult, but many of us today go through this stress. What are the major causes of stress? There could be a variety of things. Basically, the poor working conditions, which we all know. That's what I said. The pandemic has given us poor working conditions for some people who were not at all used to this online business of teaching. As a teacher, you are so used to getting facial response from the students, whether they have understood or not, and you feel that's the easier way to be a good teacher. Then the occupational demands, like today, you may not be doing only teaching, but along with that, a lot of other administrative works like your NBA, NAC, this, that, lot of files and a lot of data management, which was not supposed to be a thought process of a teacher before. Not much for as a teachers for you rotating work shifts, but role ambiguity, yes. We think we are a teacher, so our job is only to teach, but then many other responsibilities come up and that starts giving a lot of stress. Work overload is natural for this modern world today. Career concerns, if I do PhD, will I get promotion or not? Even if I get promotion, what will increase? Nothing big will change, but only responsibilities increase. Such kind of concerns definitely add up to stress. And lack of social support, especially for women faculty, the social support of work support balance is much less. Maybe today it's much better, but few years before that was a bigger problem. And organizational changes which keep happening without our control. So most of these, if you see, are outside us and we have no control on it. We can't change it, but we have to experience. So these are the major causes of stress. And how do we know I am under stress? That's how is a sign of stress. Sometimes stress is not necessarily that you feel fatigue or tired, but even it could be diarrhea or constipation. It could be simple hair loss. It could be a stomach which is upset quite regularly without much change in your food habit or change in your water or place. Suddenly you feel you are not able to digest what your regular food is also. So these are some of the symptoms which generally are not thought to be the symptoms or signs of stress. We treat them medically, but they don't help us. And then we feel the doctor is giving medicine, but nothing is happening. And why so? Because the reason basically is it's not the body problem, but it's the stress which is reacting or showing up on our body this way. So if any one of such thing is happening for you occasionally also, understand that there is stress. So our body actually releases hormone whenever we feel stress. That's the brain which receives the stress and instructs the body. Like the thyroid basically will change, because thyroid is the gland which is metabolism checking for the whole body. So more people today have thyroid issues like T3, T4, TSH. One of them will be having some issue. That means the hormone is over released. And these hormones make your brain alert so that there is some kind of a pressure on muscles or body. Now, this becomes chronic, then that converts into bigger problems. And previously, like few years before, around 60 people used to say we have high blood pressure or diabetes, heart disease. These were like rich men problem in olden days or old age problems in few years before. But today, these are the issues that 30, 35 people face. Moreover, obesity, depression, and menstrual problems, these have become more common at younger age, and that converts in a little elderly people at BP, diabetes, and so on, and even skin problems. And the issue is we don't even understand why I'm having this skin problem. It's simply because too much stress. Some people say I just can't go out in sun. Some people say AC is difficult for me. Some people say dust is the allergy. Variety of allergies people are having, but not knowing why it is happening that way. So if you are already having a problem, stress will definitely increase it. For sure, it will not decrease it. Understand that there are two types of stress. Majorly, when we talk about stress, we talk about the negative part of the stress. That's called distress. That's negative stress, which pulls us down, feels low. But there is positive stress also, which in our younger age we have experienced. Like we have an exam, there is stress. But if your motivation is, I want to get better marks, I want to be first in the class, and with that motivation you have studied, that motivation itself is a stress which allows you to do better performance. Or a sportsman who is performing, getting up early at 4 o'clock, going for gym, then having his food routine, and then another routine for his sports, and he goes through that routine itself with stress. But that stress is not negative, it does not trouble. The positive stress is required for us to perform better. Actually, same situation can be experienced as negative stress, and same situation can be experienced as positive stress. It all depends on how we react to that particular situation. So eustress is something which helps us, and distress is something which puts us down or our performance goes down. So if we can convert this negative stress to positive stress, then we have really managed the stress. So what I'm going to talk to you today is how to shift this experience or reaction of us experiencing it as negative stress to using it or utilizing it as positive stress wherever possible. I'm not saying every distress can be converted to eustress, but more of it is possible. Some of it will have to manage it anyway. So, technically speaking, how the graph of level of stress to performance, because stress is experienced only when you have performance to be shown or checked about. So if we are very calm, doing nothing, there is no stress, then improvement is also very slow. Like most of the students today or youngsters today, they get bored very fast. And the reason behind it is they have everything available or made available by their parents by birth. Most of this young millennial generation is born with materials, they say. So they have nothing much to earn for or achieve for, and that itself gives them boredom all the time. But there is little stress, which is not too much. So you can have that like 6 sigma or 3 sigma variation towards the median. That gives the optimal performance, that is eustress. So the positive stress where you have energy, you are focused, and you feel effortless. Like for example, you are learning car driving. The very first time you sit against the steering, everything looks to be a pressure and tension because it's such a big thing. Where is the gear? What happens? Accelerator, brake, so many things. The moment you have done few sessions of driving class, or you have done driving with somebody, you start feeling comfortable with it. So beginning, I want to drive is a eustress. There is non-interestedness, then it will convert to distress. If there is a passion for driving or interest for driving or need for driving, it will be eustress, and it will become effortless as you start driving regularly. So people who are regular drivers don't experience the same stress which they would have experienced it for the first time driving. If the same stress becomes too much, like go on the right side of the level of stress axis, then that is converting into ill health, exhaustion, and fatigue. So if we can manage the stress, that means we are not to the distress part of this graph, but we are at the eustress part of this graph. Then the stress is supposed to be managed. That means you are never going to be out of stress. You are going to be having the stress, but you know how to use that stress. What are the ways to manage the stress? There are a variety of ways individuals can use. Somebody can do exercise and they feel go for a walk, or develop a hobby like you are good at singing or painting or music, any of those things, or learn meditation, yoga, go for a nature walk or go for a picnic. Manage your own time well, and sometimes the stress automatically gets managed. Or take up a therapy which naturopathy or ayurveda, which have variety of treatments available, so that you can manage your stress temporarily, and then later learn to manage it all through. I want to tell you one wonderful thing which the Coca-Cola CEO, the old CEO of Coca-Cola, Brian Dyson, gave the shortest speech in the world. And he told very, very few but very important things to his office colleagues. What he said was, imagine life as a game of juggling with 5 balls in the air. Suppose there are 5 balls is what your life is, and you are juggling them around. Work is a rubber ball. What rubber ball means is, the more you work, the more work comes to you, because rubber ball, the more harder you hit, it bounces back at you. So you must have observed this, that the people who are good at work, they get more work from everywhere. Even their bosses would be happy to give them work because they have a trust that this person will do it well. So work is a rubber ball, handle it as rubber ball. You do too much, you have to do too much. But family is like a glass ball. You disturb your family for your work, it's like glass. Once broken, takes hell of a time to set it again. So we have to be very carefully managing our family. Exactly same with our health. Once disturbed, very takes a lot of time to recoup and get back to normalcy. Same way your friends. So family is relationships. Health is your mental, physical, and psychological setup. Friends is the trust which you have on somebody as friend. All these three, like relationships once broken, are very difficult. Your health once disturbed is very difficult to get back, and the trust lost between friends is very difficult to get back. But what happens in our life is we give less importance to family, health, and friends, assuming that it's the work which will make my life and my family life more comfortable or much better. And for that, we keep only work, work, work as our priority, neglecting family, health, and friends. But to come out of all these, most important is the spirit, that is what you are within. And how to go to this golden ball is what I'm going to talk to you today very quickly in understanding what I am within, or what is that for which I should be working for. And it's that important ball or that important understanding which can make the above 4 things much easy to handle. So Work efficiently in office hours for sure, but then give enough time for family, friends, and have proper rest is what the CEO told to his colleagues in such a short speech, but a big message of life. And it's very important for us also to understand how to have this work and life balance. Health is like money. We never have true idea of its value until we lose it. And I'm telling you today, most people after Corona, many people don't even want to go to doctor because we know what happens once you go to hospital. So if we don't want to go to hospital, we have to make sure that we are healthy. And that is what something individuals have to do. No group cannot take care of your health. Nobody else can take care of your health. We have to take care of our own health. So, how to take care of health? The most important thing is if you can manage your stress, because the illness comes unless there is some infection or something. Otherwise, majority of the diseases are called today psychosomatic. Almost 80% of the diseases are psychosomatic. So that means they come because of the way we cannot handle our own stress. So these are various ways by which we can remain healthy, and they are the same ways to manage your stress. So stress management and health management are basically the same things. Now, what are the 8 dimensions of wellness? Observe, this is from one of the standard papers on psychological processing. It says that each one of these physical, intellectual, environmental, social, emotional, financial, spiritual, and occupational have equal importance in our life for us to be doing well. I cannot talk about all these things, but we will talk about physical, spiritual, and emotional well-being. Rest of it you will be able to manage if these three are taken care. So, time well spent with family and friends promotes the emotional well-being, and this you must have experienced. Like we from industry have definitely experienced work from home has given lot of opportunities for all this, which was the way of life some 20 years before. Before 2000, life, we all as, I mean, I remember as a child having all these things done with my family and friends. But today's children have lost this, and that's why they are very bored. If you could go back to your family at least once or twice in a week, have such wonderful time spent, your emotional well-being will automatically be taken care, because these happy time spent are very important for our mind to be feeling very happy. Next is very important thing to understand is whenever we react to a stimulus. This is like a computer diagram. You are all computer science teachers. You have input, process, output. Exactly same what happens in our life also, or to our brain also. You have a stimulus which is external. The 5 senses get this stimulus and you respond. But before you respond, there is a freedom to choose how you respond. That how is 2 ways of doing it. Either you are reactive or you are proactive. What it means that you are reactive? That means there is a stimulus and you react immediately. Like suppose there was a pin which pricks to your body, immediately your body gives a reaction and you remove your hand from the place where you got the prick. That's the instantaneous or natural or automatic reaction. But for situations, if we react that way, that means we react and then think. Most of the time, somebody tells you, will you do this? Then we say, no, 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 no. This is a very common response from most of the people, because you have already shut your door about for thinking whether it's possible for you or not. You have pre-decided So you give the response and then start thinking, Array, I should not have said like this, Array, I should not have done like that. But words which are spoken out, you can't take them back. So before reacting, if we take the buffer, we think and then react. So exactly the opposite, but it has a lot of difference in its repercussions. So if you react and then think, you have to face the reaction's consequences. If you think and then react, you have already got the process set so that you have a choice of how to do things. Basically, when you react immediately without thinking, it is short-sighted, aggressive, or very, very angry kind of experience you have on without even showing or feeling you are angry. You have jumped to the conclusion. So it generates more stress. But if you have a pause before you react, then you can actually get release from the stress, because it's more of value driven, visionary, and you feel that I have decided. It's not that I have been told to do. So there is a big difference in these two things. This also has an impact that when you are reactive, you are under high stress, and your circle of influence, that means those who lead your life, they tell you and you have to follow. That kind of influence on your life is more, and naturally you feel under pressure because you are doing most of the things because they should be done. So your circle of concern, that is what you want to do in your life, is much less, but what you have been told to do is much more. Whereas when you are proactive, you are taking the decision of your reaction, then your circle of concern is bigger. That means you are leading your life your way. That doesn't mean you can do whatever you want. You are not extravagant, but you have done a value-based decision of how you want to do it. Then circle of influence is smaller. The moment circle of influence is smaller, the stress experience is also much lesser. So explain your anger, but don't express it. When you express it, it comes out like a gas which is put under pressure in a container, and you open the lid. The gas has no control, it will just go away. So if your anger is natural, because there are so many things happening around you which are not right or correct, especially your students' behavior, their way of reacting to exams, their way of reacting to the laboratories or projects. So many ways you will be getting into anger because of the age difference, the way of the students behave today, or your own children at home also could give you that anger. But instead of expressing it immediately, you re-explain it and make sure that arguments are avoided and understanding comes. I'm not saying it's very easy, but once you have that understanding, slowly it will start happening to you. And how to do this? For this, there are the trainings which are required, because what to do, I have told you now, but how to do is what we'll learn now. So as teachers, if you react rather than responding to a disciplinary issue, especially on behavior, then you become vulnerable to manipulation of your students. And you must be experiencing this. The beginning of the semester, if something happens, the whole semester, the way students behave in that particular class is very difficult and irritating for you also. Students learn very quickly how, when you get angry, and how they can irritate you. Once you are irritated, they know they can handle you. If you are calm, they know they will have to follow you. So understand the difference. If you are responding, you are calm and getting things done the way you want. Please don't misunderstand that because you are calm, quiet, and getting things done, they will do whatever they want. It's actually the opposite. Once you demonstrate your inability to deal the students ineffectively, they will know that their behavior makes you angry, and then they can do whatever they want finally. So they repeat those situations. This happens at home, this happens at workplace. So it's better to respond than react, and not once or twice. It should be every time. It should be our behavior, so that that's the standard with which you will be respected and treated. So for that to happen, this stress, we need to handle our physical health, because if you are unhealthy within, you can't be you can't be calm and quiet. If you are psychologically not well set, there are some issues which you are personally handling, it naturally reflects upon. And internally, spiritually, you are unhappy because you have confusion about what you believe to what you do. Then also your reactions or your responses will be different. So your physical, psychological, and spiritual or mental health can be achieved by regular practice of yoga. I want to inform you that it's not yoga, but the regular practice of yoga. So over 1 or 2 days, nothing will happen. But if you do it regularly, you can experience some change. So 8 elements of yoga are yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dhyana, dharana, samadhi, of which 4 are internal and 4 are external. Yama, niyama, asana, pranayama are external. That means the rules or the design inside which we all perform. So yama, niyama are basically those things. Asana are the exercises of the body. Pranayama, I'll be talking about the pranayama little. And the internal is pratyahara. Pratyahara is the most difficult thing. Once that pratyahara is understood, dhyana, dharana, samadhi we can go with. So yama niyama are basically the ethical rules which are all over the world. They are the same thing: kindness, truthfulness, non-stealing, moderation, and generosity. That means if you have more, give others. Niyama are internal rules, that is purity, contentment, self-discipline, self-study, and surrenderness. So these are common, whichever part of the world and whichever color, caste, creed we are. These are common things. They are not part of any particular thing, but they are part of our being human itself. Now, if we want to understand, I will not be able to demonstrate to you all these things today because you have had lunch and come. If this was a session in the morning, we could actually do demonstration of these things. So I'll just explain to you what these are. Pranayama, there are variety of pranayamas available, but the most simplest one is the alternate nostril breathing, or Anuloma Viloma Pranayama, or you must have seen Ramdev Baba or most of these yoga sessions which happen on TV, they also show this to you. So just observe what exactly is done is, with your thumb, you close the right nostril. You can do it right now with yourself and see how it cools down your brain. Actually, you do something with your breath, but it cools your brain down. So I'll suggest that you try to do it yourself right now. Close your right nostril, exhale from the other nostril, which close the left nostril and exhale from your right. Then inhale from the right and then change the nostril, so that you have done alternately. Exhale, inhale, change. Exhale, inhale, change. If you do this at least 5 to 10 minutes in the morning, especially in direction where sunlight falls, maybe your balcony or if you have a small garden, because when there is fresh air and you do this simple pranayam, that actually starts cooling down of your mental tensions. 5 to 10 minutes of doing this, it's quite a big relief for mentally. Secondly, it starts putting oxygen throughout your body in a very nice and neat way. So it also improves your blood quality. It also improves your circulation system. So it gives you 3 benefits very easily by doing 5 to 10 minutes of alternate nostril breathing. You don't have to do very kind of strong breathing, whatever your normal breathing is, unless you have cold and your nose is choked or blocked, you don't do it. You clean the nose, make sure that both nostrils air is flowing smoothly. That time you do this pranayama. What are the benefits of doing this? It cures stress, anxiety, tension. It boosts the memory. If children do it, it's much better because they will be able to remember their, actually it cleans your brain. So it has more long-term memory increase benefit. So Anuloma Viloma, as it is called in Sanskrit, or alternate nostril breathing, it helps you in doing 3 to 5 minutes if you do. That's a big benefit to your body, mind, and circulatory system also. Next is, like we saw emotional well-being, we saw physical well-being. The next important thing is eating right. Now here I'm not saying what is right. Don't ask me questions, should I eat this, should I eat that. The best thing to know the parameters, what you have been eating before 10 years of your age. That all is suitable to your body and you can eat that. Later, whatever we have learned, the body is not habituated, so sometimes it gives issues. Whatever area you belong to, like I am in South India, so it's much easier for me to eat rice, dal, sambar. You are in North India, you will be eating chapati, curry, and puri and sabji. All, whatever is your weather, whatever is your local style of operation, eating, that's better thing. Next thing is sufficient proper amount of masalas. They are very, very important and they boost your immunity. And now almost since Corona started all over the world, haldi milk is being sold at a very high price. And I remember as a child, when you get little cough and cold, your grandmother at home would say, today don't take any other food, but have रात में सोने से पहले गरम दूध में थोड़ा हल्दी और शक्कर डाल के पी लो, सब ठीक हो जाएगा, या तो थोड़ा जिंजर भी डाल दो. So these grandma tricks were most wonderful foods for you. And the traditional drinks like ganne ka juice. Today is Sankranti, so for this is a very important season for ganna or the sugar cane, because in our side, South India, everybody today will be bringing ganna at home, because today onwards that crop will be processed. In your side also it would be the same thing. So these traditional drinks, and one important drink which today is being told a probiotic for your stomach, is the buttermilk or छाछ. ये छाछ को रोज पीना बहुत जरूरी है, because that increases the good bacteria in your stomach, and then it gives you a better health, which allows you to digest whatever you eat properly. So you have good food. I'm not going to talk much about ahara, because it should be understood by you what suits to your system. And the thumb rule is, whatever you have eaten till 10 years of age, you eat that suits to your system. Now, let's come to the most important thing. There's a lot of research going on all over the world. This is one of the journal of Ayurveda. In 2015, it published a paper on meditation process and effects. There they say that meditation is, the ancient Vedic text talks about, that it is the way of actually going within. So it's the experience of unity. It reduces the stress and brings the increased creativity and efficiency of functioning your inner faculties. So if we can meditate, that's the best thing which can happen to your inner cleaning or inner balance. So those of you who can learn meditation, I'll give you the basic simple steps, because if you do pranayam regularly, you should sit in a clean, quiet place. It should automatically be calm. If it's not possible, once you learn, like driving, once you learn meditation, you can do it anywhere. But when you are doing it for the first time, it's better to have a calm place. Then sit with your back straight. Have support to your back, because spinal cord should be straight. It should not have any bending, or your neck should also not be bending. You can keep hands in most comfortable position. Cross legs or straighten your legs or sit in a chair depending on capacity at which your comfort is, but back should be straight. That's very important, and the back should be supported. Then set a time limit. You don't have to do it for hours together. You have to do it 5 to 10 minutes. And it's better to do it before you eat food, or better to do it when you are hungry. Notice that your body is silent. You just don't have to do anything. Basically, meditation means do nothing. Many people have a variety of ways of doing meditation, but they are all methods. Like for swimming, to begin with, you may use a rope, or you may use a box, or you may use a tire. But finally, you have to get rid of all that and swim in the water. Exactly same way, some people will use mantra, some people say use light, some people will say use a candle. All those are starting points if you need. Otherwise, basically for meditation, you have to just sit. Like our laptop will go into sleep mode, we say. What does that mean is it's actually internally functioning, but externally not us taking any radiation out from there, not allowing us to see also anything. Exactly the same thing we have to do. We have to take a pause. Feel your breath, because that will keep happening all the time. You just observe your breath. Don't do anything. But what will happen when you get silence? When you stop doing anything, there will be lots of thoughts. The mind will start wandering. In the beginning, there will be lots of thoughts, but you have to do nothing about it. You have to allow them to come and go. After 3 to 4 minutes, those thoughts will slow down. You, whenever you realize the thoughts are taking you away from your breath, you come back to the breath when you realize, because if you don't realize, you will go with the thoughts. Even if you go with the thought, nothing can be done. The moment you realize that you have gone with the thoughts, you just leave the thought there and come back to your breath. So observe your breath, and then let the mind wander. For some time it will happen, for some days it will happen. So like I told you, 3 to 5 minutes of pranayam, that anuloma viloma in the morning, before lunch. If we can do meditation now in Japan, Germany, US, UK, most of the industries, and even in TCS, Infosys, Wipro, we have regular meditation and pranayam sessions happening. Now we are having it online, but if we are going to office, it's happening in the office. Because everybody has realized that the moment your mind and body are calm, your work efficiency is more. So spending half an hour of being with yourself will make much greater impact on your work. If you can have this kind of a, and you can use guided meditation tips on YouTube. You have a lot of varieties, Hindi, English, with music, without music, whichever suits to you in the beginning. You can put the earphones, put for those 10 minutes time, and just keep quiet, sit quietly, doing nothing, observe your breath. If you need, you take the guided meditation support. Slowly, you will notice that, like, you can use guided meditation. I actually thought of doing it, but at this hour, it will not be possible to do, because all of you had lunch and come. You will go into sleep if I give you this meditation. So you can use any guided meditation, 10 minutes of audio, and get into meditation for 10 minutes. It helps you a lot. Meditation is not a physical exercise. Like when you go to gym, do you tell your muscle you have to become this strong, you have to become like this, you have to become like that? No. Neither our brain gives instruction to muscles, nor we give instruction to muscles. But by those particular exercises, the muscle becomes stronger. Exactly same way, when we don't do anything and sit silently in meditation, automatically your mind and the brain will become stronger to take right decisions at right time. So the process of meditation is actually so much within that for some days you will not realize that something is happening, but daily practice of meditation, you do morning, if possible, in the morning before lunch or in the evening before your dinner. Then not just before dinner, but once you go home and around 6:37, when many of the times you light lamp in the house, do puja. After that, you continue and do 10 to 15 minutes meditation. So meditation should be done after you have done little activity, your body has been used up. Pranayam should be done before you start your activity. So remember these two things. Pranayam should be done early morning as much possible. Meditation should be done when you are hungry before you have your food. So it is best to meditate before you eat. Otherwise, you will go off to sleep actually. And those who have insomnia or can't sleep in the night, they can do meditation after dinner and then have a peaceful sleep. This is a therapy which we do in yoga centers for people who have insomnia or sleeplessness problems. So noise is never a problem for meditation, like traffic is never a problem for driving. So thoughts traffic will be there, slowly it will reduce. So sit quiet, close your eyes and do nothing in particular. Thoughts will come and go. They are part of meditation. You don't have to worry about the thoughts which come in. So what common mistakes happen in this is something very important to know. That is, do not try to meditate. Many people think, now I'm going to do meditation. We don't say we'll do meditation, we'll say I will meditate, because meditation itself in an action, there is nothing to be done about it in particular. So if you try to do, that's a mistake. And the benefits will come if you meditate regularly. By 3 days, 4 days of meditation, nothing will happen. Like, it's not an antibiotic which you take for 5 days and the bacteria is gone. It's something which we have to do regularly, like brushing. You do brushing every day in the morning. As a child, even brushing was difficult. Today, it has become very natural phenomena for us. Exactly same way it should happen, like that. Then you will start seeing the effects. Within 15-20 days, you will start experiencing the effect. And once you start liking it, you will keep doing it, because it actually makes you a better performer and more happy life you can have. So what are the benefits of meditation? It will reduce stress for sure. When it reduces stress, you feel connected with yourself and the world. It improves your brain function. Like, I know the people who meditate, they will remember mantras, longer and longer mantras very effectively. And for many years, they can keep doing that. So their memory rather increases rather than decreasing with age. You feel much happier. It reduces your anxiety, and naturally then it reduces your stress. So when it is so beneficial, why should we not do it? There are a lot of research happening all over the world now, because after Narendra Modi ji went and the International Yoga Day is being announced, most of the countries have taken part. Not only that, they have started the meditation pranayam and all the processes of yoga, but they have started researching on it also. So like we have ECG for heart, there is something called EEG for brain. So after meditation, this is before meditation, what the brain EEG looks like. There are all electric currents basically. This is the way brain internal network is, like you call neural network in computer science. This is what neural network in the physical brain structure is. The redness is higher, the person is more stressed. But the regular meditation will reduce this, and it will slowly calm down. The redness will go down and the blue and green will start increasing. This has been observed, and these are the published pictures from the EEG of people who meditate. And it is observed that meditators are faster on their anything what they want to do. Also, it does one more thing, is our prefrontal cortex, which stores the short-term memory, that is thicker. That means the brain center, which manages the other activities of the brain, telling how to actually give action and reaction processing. It changes, the brain changes with meditation. And it has shown that first few minutes of the meditation, the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, actually the greener part which shown in the previous picture, is the one which is starts lighting up. And people who, when you are under stress or you are very angry, you will see this part of your brain is very hot, or the kapala becomes very garam ho jata hai. But when you meditate, it starts cooling down, and this has been experienced, observed, and recorded under experiments. So it doesn't matter what effects it gives, but if it's making you happy and healthy, it's better to do it. So what are the effects? So during the meditation, it reduces your stress, it increases the energy in the body, and that's what we call pranic energy. It's not the food giving energy, but it's the energy which your life needs. And it's positively increases, becomes your health better. And research has also confirmed it reduces stress, anxiety, and depression, pain, both physical and psychological. You can come out of it, and improve memory, and a variety of work related issues, like you can do faster, better, more efficient process. So this is all about what meditation helps. But some people who are going through a lot of stress and can't just even close their eyes, and feel it's impossible for me to close eyes, because the moment I close eyes, my thoughts wander like anything, and I just can't keep my eyes closed. I open my eyes because I can't bear the thoughts of stress which come in. For such people, it's easier to start the meditation process using any kind of mantra, whichever caste, creed you belong to, whichever God you trust in. You can take up that as like, I know in all the customs there is a chanting process. So you take the bead thread and chant, but close your eyes and start the chanting in such a way that slowly you get into meditation. So one of the most beautiful mantra, which is called environment creation mantra, is the Gayatri mantra, and that calms the mind and body. So those who know Sanskrit and can chant this can do this, but whichever is your belief, that mantra you can take up. 3 to 4 line mantra is better to begin with, so that you are not spending your time in remembering the mantra, but you are more on chanting, so that you get into meditation. And then it brings down the stress levels as you keep doing it. And mantra help you in one way, that you have some kind of assertive understanding that after 30, 40, 50, I will stop. So the time is automatically counted, and slowly you increase it. So any of the practices you begin with, either pranayam or family get together or proper food or meditation, all this combined effect is what is helpful to reduce the stress. But wanting to reduce the stress is not sufficient. You will have to put your efforts to it. So if you want to be excellent in your performance and experience of life, you need to commit yourself to come out of that stress. And that commitment is not simply giving a word to yourself, or maybe on January 1st, many of us do that this year I'm going to do this, that kind of lot of commitments. But then after a month, everything stops. So commitment has to be a regular activity which will make your life a better experience for yourself, your family, your students, and your workplace where you are in, so that you experience the life as the most beautiful thing to do. So to reduce stress, any one of these which I have explained you can do. You can either practice pranayam or meditation or increase a hobby, or a simple thing, if somebody talks to you and you are not able to handle that stress, you just drink cool water, 1 glass. Automatically you get a pause, you stop and then react. Olden days, they used to say, if you get very angry, count 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 100. And that actually was a significance to say that you take a pause, think, and then react. So the meaning behind that was, don't react immediately, you take a pause. So be proactive than reactive, and that makes a lot of difference to your stress. So thank you. And that's all from my side. If you have any questions, you may please ask. Yeah, madam, I am done from my side. Hello.
Any query?
I think it's end of your session now, all 5 days.
Okay. Basically, stress is a feeling of emotional or physical tension. Stress is your body's reaction to pressure from a certain situation or event. It can be the physical, mental, or emotional reaction. So yes, all of us suffer from this stress in our day-to-day life, in our daily life. So only one way to reduce the stress is work efficiently in your office place or workplace, but give the sufficiently quality time to your family and health to the yoga with good eating habits and meditation. So thank you, ma'am, for providing us the solution that how to manage the stress in our daily life. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.